Hello everyone, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity. I am Travis the Fair, and we are joined by our party here in Wooden Plains. We had just killed a forest lurker. Last episode we did a bit involving some looters and a fairy, sending them off, and we even sent off for Rogue. Uh-oh, that was a bit careless of me. Let's see here. I am going to focus him with that. Send Bear after him as well. Aloth. Let's go ahead and try out this spell. That'll just be a test. I'll go ahead and send Edir after him. Durance. Go ahead and... let's go ahead and punish this dude. Why not? And Kana, chant your stuff. Oh my gosh, this is not what I was expecting. Alright, Aloth, hurry up and cast that spell. Alright, I see it bouncing off people there. Let's see if we can... do you have any beneficial spells? Doesn't look like it. That's gonna hit everyone. We can hit all four of them with that. Did he not cast it? He's not wanting. Alright. Let us go ahead. Heal ourselves up. Oh my gosh, that dude just... whatever this thing is needs to die. Kana, kill that dude. Alright, Bear. Get over here and help them. A Puigra. I don't know how to say that. Just knocked me out as well. Let's go ahead and cast that. That was a pretty strong spell. And now... go ahead and do this thing that I feel like you didn't do last time. And Bear. Didn't realize you're not doing anything right now. Edir, go ahead and try to knock one of them down. There you go. I think I've been right-clicking the whole time, making people attack like that. That is not what I want. So actually, walk over here. And then... it hits everyone in its path, so I'm wondering if that'll hit him. That's pretty cool. That lasted a long time. Does that just keep going? That's what it looked like. Alright, Durance. Me. Hope we're doing alright now. That was a rough fight. Whatever that thing was, it was knocking us around pretty good. Alright, gotta remember to be more stealthy. I'll see what I can find. Okay, but yeah, what I was saying anyway earlier before we got interrupted there was we had a thief come into our keep, and he was kind of asking for us to help him out, and he was offering us some money he got from what it sounded like a very shady situation. And I turned him down, told him he should just turn himself in, and I would help. I told him I would put in a good word and make sure they gave him a fair sentence, and he just ran off. I mean, it's not exactly unexpected, but, you know, I feel like... oh, what the fuck? Everyone kill the lion. Knock it down.
Brave does not believe. Hey there.
Alright, well, we killed the lion. It just kind of sprinted at us from nowhere.
Easy does it.
I wonder if it came from this area. If it was up on this hill. What do we got here? So he's got a twisted ankle and I've got some broken ribs. Busted ribs. Perfect. Okay, yeah, so there are a bunch of lions here. Looks like there's a dead dude there. Let's kind of get all situated right now. Alright, everyone. Bear. Let's see. Bear, attack him. I will join you, Bear. Aloth. Go ahead and try casting that, like right about there. Durance, go ahead and pop this off. Give us all some armor. Adair, go ahead and see if you can knock that one down. And Kana, just keep doing your chanting. I did not expect Adair to run around like that, but you know what? It'll work out. Adair, go ahead and knock down the one that's attacking you. Durance, you want to go ahead and heal up? Actually, where's that one? Iconic projection? Yeah. Let's go ahead and do that. Keep attacking the lion there. Aloth, you as well. There we go. And Durance leveled up. There we go. That's what we were waiting for. Everyone leveled up last time except for Durance. We'll give him a bit more lore or mechanics and some athletics. And he gets a new spell. Oh wait, does he just get all of that? Yeah, looks like he's just getting a bunch of new spells. Let's go ahead and check this out real quick. Yeah, he just unlocked a ton of level 3 spells. That's awesome.
Hey there.
Got a bunch of lion hide. Let's check out what's going on with this dude. Had a hearth harvest. Was that what it was called? Hearth harvest, yeah. Let's see. It's one-handed axe. This hunting hatchet has a leather-wrapped wooden handle and a silvered blade covered in finely etched flames. When the blade is coated in the blood of prey or an opponent, the etching glows a fiery gold, roaring to life. Even at rest, the hatchet smells faintly of smoke and charred flesh. Interesting. It does burn damage, gives plus DR bypass and deflection. Let's actually see how that compares to Adair. Graze is converted to hits. Damage restored as endurance. So that is really nice. It even does more damage. And it gives him more accuracy. I'm going to go ahead and let him keep Gon's share.
Hey there.
That hatchet's pretty cool.
They'll never know I'm here.
Alright, I was wondering if maybe we should camp, but I just looked. All of us are looking pretty healthy right now. I mean, yeah, there's a couple problems we got here, but with Durance leveling up, it gave him one additional spell slot. So I'm not too worried about combat. We'll see if we come across anything too difficult. What do we got here? Is that stealing? Doesn't look like it. You know what? Maybe now that we found camping supplies here, let's actually go ahead and camp. Damage reduction, damage reduction. Damage versus flanked. Accuracy against beasts, primordial spirit. I'm going to go with the damage reduction just because I'm not quite sure what I'm going to be facing. If I knew what I was going to be facing, I might do the accuracy bonus.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sneak up on you. I just... Well, you seemed preoccupied.
Well, what's on your mind?
I suppose I've just noticed you acting a little, unusual lately. Talking to people who aren't there, remembering flashbacks of your previous life. I just want to make sure you're doing all right.
Come on, man. I know that's not really what you're concerned about. What's this really about?
I was just checking in on you. That's all. I should let you rest. Looks like we'll have another full day tomorrow.
Hey there.
I'm wondering if he was referring to himself. He kind of seemed like, I'm wondering if he was concerned that I was coming down with whatever he has. I know he's been talking to, I guess, himself, but when he talks to himself, he kind of switches. It's kind of like a split personality that he's got there. So I'm wondering if he's afraid that's what's happening to me. I could be way off, and he could actually just be concerned, but I feel like that was more than him just checking in on me. Because I haven't really been having any issues, like, lately with my little watcher powers. I know I have in the past, so it would have made a bit more sense if he would have talked about it back then. Sagani.
Hush, Itumak. We'll just wait a little longer.
A dwarven woman dressed in skins and hides leans against the road marker. Her face is turned down, her eyes darkened by a thick stripe of face paint. She is sharpening a bone arrowhead with a scrimshaw-handled knife. Her attention, however, is focused on a bare figurine between her feet. A large white-furred fox standing at her heels looks up at your approach.
Easy, Itumak. It's not him.
Who are you waiting for?
Short version? I'm looking for a very, very old friend. I'm not sure what skin he's wearing now, but I'll know him when I see him.
And is he supposed to meet here?
That's what I heard. Of course, the man who told me so was carrying a staff he claimed was made from dragon bone, but I know Whitewood when I see it. That should have been my first clue, but I had to try something.
Try something? What are you talking about?
The long version. Here we go. I'm from an island to the far south called Nasitak. I came here looking for a village elder, a man we knew as Persak. I'm a hunter back home, so tracking someone wouldn't normally be a problem. But Persak's trail is cold, to say the least.
Why can't you find him? There really can't be that many people in Deerwood. He died when I was still young. Forgot to mention that part, did I? I'm looking for his latest reincarnation, which could be anyone. And how long have you been looking for Persak? Her painted brows lower, her compact, muscular frame sags for just an instant. 5 years. So you've been searching 5 years for a stranger you barely remember? Who could be anyone now?
That about sums it up.
Well, then, whatever you're looking for him for must be important.
So I keep reminding myself. Still, it would be nice if important duties came with clearer instructions.
How does that little statue, fit into all this? She dusts the figurine on her trousers and raises it in her small flat palm. It's carved in the shape of a bear, smooth and round. The polished Audra is worn to a dull mat along its arched back and ovoid hunches. A soft glow emanates from within.
Cute, isn't it? It belonged to Persak. Before he returned to the wheel, he left a splinter of his soul in it. Something to help us find him later.
As she holds it out to you, you feel wisps of sensation. Not quite memories, but traces of someone. Okay, so here we go. Looks like we're gonna help her.
When I left Nasitak, it was completely dark inside. But as I've gotten closer to Persak, it's glowed steadily brighter. Since I've reached the Deerwood, however, it's gotten hard to read. Some days it flickers and goes dark. Others it shines nice and bright. For a few hours. But most of the time, it looks just like this.
You know what? I could take a look at it.
I've heard that one before. Whole reason I'm standing here is because some so-called watcher from Forkvale told me he could take a look. For a few golden dukes, of course. I was on my way out of the Balmarsh when I heard talk of a traveling mystic who could supposedly see souls. I knew it was a long shot, but what did I have to lose? I went to see this fellow and gave him the Audra figurine. He made a big show of moaning and rolling his eyes, and after I'd given him 5 golden dukes to lift the shroud, he told me to seek the crossroads in the field between the wolf's lair and the twining trees.
Go on.
He thought he was being vague, but I know the area well enough to recognize that he meant this place, right between Defiance Bay and Twin Elms. I had a bad taste in my mouth, But my coin was spent and I'd already left an arrow in his knapsack as a friendly warning. Told him I'd come back and leave him with another if it turned out he was giving me the runaround. I've been here a week now. Guess he had the last laugh after all.
Well, actually, may I see this figurine?
Why?
I am actually a real watcher.
You expect me to believe that? After the story I just told you?
I mean, you've got nothing to lose by letting me try.
Fine. But if you try to run, just remember that my arrows are faster.
She hands you the figurine, her chapped knuckles grazing your hand. She watches you examine it, wary but cautious. You raise the Audra bear, turning it in the light. As your eye catches a tiny glinting scratch, the scene around you melts away. You're standing off on a cliff overlooking the water, seeing through eyes that aren't your own. You catch the musk of beasts amidst the fresh scent of vegetation, and your heart beats a little faster. You'll have to watch your step up here. You look down just long enough to see a sharp, pale cliffs drop into the water hundreds of feet below. I'm gonna use my perception here, of course, and sniff the breeze. Breathing deeply, you smell salt in the air. Wherever you're standing, wherever Persock is standing, you must be near the ocean, not a lake. I see visions of a high cliff over the water. Does that sound familiar? Your question is greeted with shrugs and silence. Return the figurine. I've got it. He's standing on a cliff.
What are you talking about? What just happened?
I told you, I'm a watcher. She blinks at you a few times, calculating. If you'd see the way he stares at dead things, you'd know he's serious.
You realize I've got no coin to give you, even if I did believe you.
Well, just come with me. I've got other business in the area, and we could look for Persock on the way.
If this is your idea of a joke, you may be stuck with me for a while. Lead the way.
Boom! Man, I was just last episode talking about how we could do with one other person and how we don't have a woman in our group here. And now look at us. We got a woman hunter, so that gives us 2 additional people. And we have our party of 6. Let's go ahead and adjust our formation here. So I think me and the huntress can sit in the far back. Let's do because these 2 guys are melee. Actually, let's go like this. We can keep it kind of close-knit formation here. But I think it'd be best to keep our 2 main tanks, my bear and Edir, up front. Durance is kind of, he has a bit longer reach with that staff, so he's usually able to hit kind of like over the shoulder. I imagine that would look pretty odd with him kind of just poking at them with the butt of his staff, but you know, it works. And then the wolf, probably fast enough to kind of get around. These guys have range as well, but they're not quite as long range as I'm assuming she is, and definitely not as long range as I am. So it would make sense to keep us in the far back.
Yeah?
But yeah, look at us go. We got a whole party now. And she's looking for Persock, who sounds like a druid, I'm guessing. Let's see if we can talk to her real quick. Sagani draws up beside you, her fox following at her heels, and takes a seat next to you.
Even if you are putting one over on me, it's nice to have a hunting party again.
So you've been searching for Persock for 5 years?
5 years for me. Must be 30-something for Ichimok.
Well, and that just sounds exhausting, actually.
It's been a long hunt. A long time away from my family. Before, I'd crossed the tundra of Nasitok following caribou herds. I didn't want to leave Kalu and our children, but I was eager to visit lands my people rarely do. But 5 years without finding him. It's like 2 hours of necking. I'm ready to be done with it.
And why do you have to find him?
Soul recovery is an old village tradition. We call it the Tarnek Ilitsak. Once in a generation, we seek the soul of a much respected and long dead village elder. We tell him what's changed in the village, how people remember him. The only other Tarnek Ilitsak during my lifetime happened when I was a girl, not long after Persock died. We feasted on blubber and fermented milk for a week, and we honored the chosen huntress as a hero.
Personally, it doesn't sound like a feast to me, but never had blubber or fermented milk, so I don't know.
Then she left. and we returned to our duties. We still sang her name to the skies during festival season, but we otherwise didn't speak of her.
And what happened to her? I don't think she ever returned. It happens that way sometimes. She folds her arms, her expression sober. I'm sure your village still remembers you, Sagani. You're kind to say so, but I'm not so fragile that I need my name chanted in the meeting halls.
It's not being forgotten by my village that troubles me. But sometimes I wonder how my husband and children remember me. If they think of me often.
I mean, they have to, right? I would like to believe it, and yet sometimes days go by and I realize that they have not crossed my thoughts. Such days are rare, but they happen. She looks away, tugging at the strap of her quiver. It shames me to think of it, but more than that, it scares me.
Still, there's no point in dwelling on it. More often I find myself wondering whether Persoc will remember us. You claim to see souls. What do you think? Do you remember your past lives?
I mean, not clearly. I wouldn't say I remember it. I figured. Most people don't anyway. I suppose that's why I'm supposed to remind Persoc of what he left behind in our village. And what would you tell him about your village?
Masuk is probably much the same as it was 100 years ago. We live between tundra and frozen forests, and the land takes as much as it gives. But our hardships bring us together. And the elders truly unite us. They keep the stories of past generations, and they guide us from season to season, through good years and lean.
Itumak brushes against her hip, and she scratches his head. Recently, there have been a lot of good years. My aunt say we've had fewer clashes with neighboring villages, thanks to the hunting territories that Persoc helped establish. In bad years, we rely on trade with merchants that pass our shores. We exchange walrus tusks and seal pelts for grains that last us the hard winters. Persoc brokered a lot of those agreements, too. She holds up her bear figurine. He got this from one of the Amawa ships that used to trade with us. Sounds like this Persoc did a lot for your village.
That's what I'm supposed to remind him.
Sounds like you're on a hunt of your own, though. You feeling the thrill of the chase, or ready for this to be over? You know what? Yeah, I do enjoy the venture. Every single day is bringing something new. Explorer. She laughs and thumps her knee. Just what I'd expect from a rugged outdoorsman. It's refreshing to travel with someone else who can appreciate the scent of the trail, that's for sure. She raises and stretches, looking around. Might as well keep moving while we've got some daylight. Well, yeah, actually, I'd like to talk some more. I'd like to know about your homeland. Nasatak? Or Nasatak, I think is what she called it. She rubs her nose with one broad finger. It's a big island in the middle of the Deadfire Archipelago, just off the coast of the White That Wends, tundra mostly, with a few snow-covered forests in the warmer parts. Most of us live in fairly small villages, by standards here anyway. Mine is Masuk. And what's Nasatak like? She shrugs. Cold, but not as cold as the White That Wends. The few kith who visit Nasatak find it sparse, but there's plenty to sustain a village if you know where to look. She ticks the items off her callous fingers. We get hides and meat from caribou, seals, and small whales. Bone, too, which makes fine bows and arrowheads. Community is important to us. We survive or perish together, so everything we do, every week-long hunt, every wall we build, is for the village. And who lives there? Mostly Anutanik, like me, people who here call us boreal dwarves. Migratory clans of Glamfelin from the White That Wends sometimes spend the colder seasons on Nasatak. But we don't see too many other foreigners who can tolerate the elements. She pats a weather-bronzed arm. Those of us born in Nasatak like to say we've had a hardy layer of sealskin just beneath our flesh. And tell me about Masuk. We're a tundra village. To an outsider's eyes, we're probably not much different from the others around us, but our elders have stories that go back hundreds of years. Epic hunts, battles with neighboring villages, sojourns across the sea. We share these stories too. Tell me about Itumak. She scratches behind his ear. A good hunter, but not much of a talker, and that's been fine by me. When we hunt in Nasatak, we almost always bring our foxes with us. They keep They keep us track in flush game, or they help us track in flush game, and they're fearless defenders against bears and snow leopards. Clever Itumako has always been my favorite. He wags his brushy tail. And what do you do back in Nasatak? I'm a long hunter. I stalk game across the tundra with some of the other wives. We usually hunt caribou and oxen, but we find hares and birds too. It's a good and respected position to see so much of Nasatak in the company of my friends and sisters. This is one of the pleasures of life in Masuk. And so you were mentioning your family back in Nasatak? Of course. We'd never send a woman who hasn't had the chance to find a mate and have a couple children of her own. And I mean, I was a little bit worried, but aren't you a bit worried about your husband? Are you kidding? I'm the best shot in Masuk. Well, tell me about your children. I've had 5. Yakona, Astuya, Najo, Anik, and Malak. Astuya and Anik died young in long, lean winters. Malak was barely talking when I left. She scrapes a thumbnail along the handle of her hunting knife. He probably won't know me when I get home. She frowns, her hand falling from her knife. Even in Nasatak, I spend most of my time on the hunt, but then it's easier to relish the hunt when I know I'll see my family enjoying our kill. And what's your husband like? Kalu's a good man. He raised our children well and built us a strong home while I've been away on hunts. Our parents chose us for one another when we were still young, not the way things are usually done here, but ours chose well. She smiles. We came to appreciate each other as helpmates first, then friends, and then, well, you know how it goes. There's a hint of blush below the stripe on of face paint. And I'm curious about your search for Persok. I'll tell you what I can, but Tarnak Ilitsak pilgrimages like mine are rare. Why do your people have this tradition? She pulls the bear figurine out of her satchel, running a finger along its smooth back. It's something we've always done. The elders say it was first begun to forge ties with other villagers. It's hard to fight over caribou herds when you see someone you respect on the other side. We also believe that passing our history is in this way keeps us stronger. And it helps them, the elders I mean, return to us after they've already been away from us for a generation or more. They can use the experiences they've accumulated over lifetimes to lead the village again. Are the elders usually reborn so far from the village? Most often they return somewhere in Nasatak, a member of another village, or they're reborn among the Glamfathen of the White That Wens. Even so, it's hard to say what's usual. A mischievous grin crinkles her eyes. When my grandfather was a boy, the elder came back as a polar bear. The huntress chosen for the task had to recite half of her village's deeds while running from the beast. Her expression sobers. Even so, there have been journeys longer than mine. Some last decades, and the huntress doesn't always return. And what happens when the elder is found? That depends on the man or woman he's become. It's easiest when his rebirth happens in another village of Nasatak, where the tradition is understood. Even in the White That Wens and the southern islands of the Deadfire Archipelago, people understand this custom and will welcome you politely enough, even if their souls do not remember. She shrugs, but sometimes you find someone whose soul has no memory of the village, and you have to tell him of people who remember him. As disheartening as this is, you hope that the reminder will aid his soul in a future life. And how did you get picked to come search for Persok? She grins. Another old village tradition. The elders watched the caribou migrations and cast seal bones to determine the right time for this journey. When the omens were determined, all village wives drew shark's teeth. We were the ones that go away to hunt and fish, so we're the best suited for a task like this. Anyway, I grabbed the little tooth, she frowns. Traveling so far is a rare privilege for us, but as you can see, the journey can be unpredictable. And what are your thoughts on my search? She frowns. Helps to know what you're hunting. You've got lots of tracks to follow, but where they'll lead is anyone's guess. Alright, well, we're moving on. Well, that was an information dump if I've ever seen one. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Got quite a bit of knowledge about her and exactly what she's doing, who she is, where she's from. So that's actually pretty cool to learn all that stuff about her. Sounds like the women are all the hunters, gatherers, I guess, explorers in general for their community. And then the men are the home builders and, I guess, the homebodies is a is a good term for it. But yeah, I'm glad to have her on the party. It'll help. Oh, what do we got here? A forest lurker. We've already killed one. We have a bigger group, so let's get in there and kill this guy. I'm just gonna regular attack, use some abilities that won't take up spell slots. Let's go ahead and knock him back down.
That's it. I have.
Nice. It's pretty quick. A lot simpler than some of the other ones we've been doing. Got some money, a potion. Now that money probably gave us enough.
Laying low.
To start the next one. It did, but I don't want to use all of our money starting the next keep upgrade. Where was he running off to? That knockdown is really helpful against these guys. Especially if I can keep him knocked down for the whole fight.
Nice and quiet.
Yeah, so my plan is probably just finish unveiling this map and then we'll take a break and then head into Deadfire, or the Defiance Bay, sorry, for the next episode. But for now, yeah, I want to finish clearing out this whole map. I'm excited to work through the stories of a lot of these characters I've been building up. Like, I'm excited to see exactly what Eder is searching for in the archives. I want to know what Durance's deal is. He's kind of an intense character. And so far, I would actually... I really, really want to know what the heck is going on with Aloth and that mixed personality of his. But yeah, I'm guessing it's all just going to kind of unfold as you travel along together more and more, which makes sense, but, you know, it's really cool, I think. I think I've said this before, but I also just love the sound design in this game. There's something about it that's, like, really pleasing. It's almost like ASMR. Oh, don't want to go up here. Accidentally clicked off on the map. I want to go up on this little thing.
Easy does it.
I bet there's going to be bandits. It's a perfect spot to have a little bandit camp right on top of a little plateau. I'm calling it now. I think it's bandits. Or a cart, you know. Plateaus are the best places for carts, too. Wine dregs swirl around the bottom of the clay jar. Got some money, a bow. Let's take those. We got another crate to loot here. Got some more money, a potion, some Valoon. Valoon's namesake is a yellow-orange fruit found in Old Valia. These clear gemstones bear a similar yellow-orange color and are often cut like rubies, sapphires, and emeralds. Most of the world's known Valoon mines have long since dried up, and the stone has become one of the most sought after in recent years. Well, that's cool. I will gladly take that. You know, I don't know whose cart this is, but my character's senses didn't tell them that it was stealing, so therefore it's not.
Nice and quiet.
Got a plant here to take. Oh, one of these guys. I wonder if they can knock down. They're like a forest spirit, I guess. Oh man, that knockdown lasted a nice duration there. Just stay down. Just stay down there, buddy. When we're in these like group fights against one enemy, Man, we kick ass. Just that that knockdown alone, if it works, just basically puts him out of the fight the whole time while we just kind of wail on him.
Light, flame, and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
Got a little house here. Looks like this was a farm, but judging by the roof, I'm gonna say it is not occupied. Hasn't been for a while.
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean to select just you there, Adair. Look at that. Beautifully set up. I'm going to get over here. Next episode, what we're going to do is we are going to head over to Defiance Bay. We got a lot to do there. The main quest, got to look up some stuff for Adair. I think that's where we're going to help out, I'm guessing, what was her name? Sagani. But yeah, we'll find out. I'm not entirely sure. I just know that the person she's looking for is over a cliff next to some ocean water, and I know the Defiance Bay is kind of ocean or surrounded by ocean, so we'll see. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I'm really, really enjoying this game, and I hope you guys are enjoying watching it as much as I'm enjoying playing it. If you are, just go ahead and let me know by leaving a comment telling me how I'm doing, maybe even giving suggestions or liking and subscribing. Just anything you can do to let me know that you're appreciating the series. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.